I know people will judge me for what I'm about to say. My life was perfect and balanced. Before I became a pastor, I was married with 2 kids and my life was flowing. How I got to this situation, I don't know. I lost my husband and kids on a horrific car accident, and since then my life has never been the same. The pain and grief were overwhelming, and I struggled to find meaning in a world without my loved ones. Before I lost my husband, I wasn't someone who was deeply into church, but we'd attend services occasionally with our kids. After their passing, I wanted to be closer to God, to understand why this tragedy had befallen me. I visited several churches, searching for answers and solace. Some offered comforting words, while others seemed too formulaic. Then, one day, I stumbled upon a church led by a well-known prophet. I don't know if it was luck or divine intervention, but on my first day there, I was told that I had a calling, that God had taken what He had given me so that I could seek His face. In truth, I wasn't much of a believer, but I was grieving, and I believed anything He said. He told me that God wanted Him to be my spiritual father, to guide me on my spiritual journey. From that day forward, He said, I was His daughter. Honestly, I believed Him. As someone attuned to the spiritual realm, I'd always sensed when something was amiss. The prophet acknowledged this gift, saying it was a sign of my calling. I felt a sense of hope and purpose for the first time since the accident. Could this be the start of my healing journey? Was I truly being called to serve God? I had so many questions, but I was willing to follow this path, no matter where it led. I then started attending that church full-time. Every sermon, I joined the prophet on stage to pray for the sick. People would cry out, claiming to be healed, and I'd feel an extraordinary energy coursing through me. The prophet would anoint me, saying I had a special gift. One day, he approached me with an invitation. He said he was planning to visit his homeland. He asked me if I would like to join him, along with 2 other members. He said he wanted to show me where he used to pray and received his calling. Honestly, I was excited. Maybe it was the prospect of escaping my empty house for a while. I didn't hesitate. The day arrived, and we left for his country. As we landed, the prophet took us to his village. Everyone seemed off, fearful even. I assumed it was the power of his presence, but something didn't feel right. The 2 other members were nowhere to be seen soon after arrival, and I didn't see them again. We were supposed to stay for a week, but I ended up being there for almost a month. Little did I know, this journey would change my life forever. The prophet, who had been so friendly and welcoming, transformed upon our arrival. His demeanor darkened, and he became mean-spirited. That night, I was taken to an old, abandoned-looking house. But inside, it was surprisingly clean. The prophet showed me to my room, but something didn't add up. We had come to the prophet's homeland to pray and seek spiritual guidance. Yet we never prayed together. The prophet was always away, leaving me alone in the rooms. That room became my nightmare. The first night, I woke up feeling dizzy and disoriented. My anus was painfully sore. I attributed it to the long flight, but as the days passed, the pain intensified. Most nights, I'd wake up in complicated positions, sexual positions like doggy style. I felt violated, but I couldn't recall anything happening. I became weak and sick, and our departure was postponed. Whatever was in that room continued to torment me. On the last day, the day before our departure, I felt it, a cold presence, a malevolent energy. I heard groaning, felt touches, but saw nothing. The pain was real, but I was paralyzed and powerless. But on the day of our departure, I woke up feeling strangely strong and powerful. I asked about the other 2 members who had accompanied us, but I was told they had left early due to my illness. As I packed my belongings, I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror. My eyes seemed different, almost altered. The prophet seemed pleased, almost triumphant, as we prepared to leave. As we departed, I felt a mix of emotions: relief, confusion, and a growing sense of unease. Upon returning home, I noticed a profound change within myself. I had become a powerful speaker and healer. People began to seek me out for guidance and healing. I opened my own church and it flourished. I was hailed as a miracle worker, and my name became synonymous with spiritual renewal. But there was a secret to my success, one that I kept hidden from the world. Whenever I slept with younger men, I felt my strength renewed. It was as if their vitality transferred to me, sustaining my powers. For years, I indulged in these encounters, always careful to maintain a facade of piety. Money was never a concern. My church brought in a substantial income and I was enjoying life. But as I look back, I realized that my actions have been a mere facade, a distraction from the devil and grief that still lingered within me. I know people will judge me for what I've done, but I had to share my story, no matter how twisted it may seem. Perhaps, in confessing, I'll find some measure of redemption. Now I feel trapped. The only way out seems to be death. It's too late to leave. I'm entrenched in this life. Take my story as an eye-opener. Not everyone who calls the name of Jesus is genuine. Beware of false prophets.